Thanks very much. Firstly, making misogyny a hate crime indicator will be in my police and crime plan. And congratulations, Citizens UK. Give yourselves a round of applause, a pat on the back, and 3 rousing cheers. You did it. You won. Back in 2015 in Nottingham, you started the campaign for the police to make misogyny a hate crime indicator. And on the 17th of March, the government conceded Amendment 87B to the Domestic Abuse Bill so that all police forces will now have to record misogyny as a hate crime indicator. I pledged my support for this back in September 2020. I lobbied my fellow police and crime commissioner candidates. I made a video about it with Stella Creasy. If elected, then I'll oversee the implementation of this by West Midlands Police. That will be in my police and crime plan. I also support the recommendations made by the Law Commission so that in due course, misogyny will become a substantive hate crime. Secondly, I support your proposal that we work together to pilot hate crime action plans with employers, including the need to record and report on how they're doing, focusing on prevention, which is entirely consistent with my own strategy that the prevention of crime is always better than having to deal with the consequences of crime. And thirdly, if elected, I will commit to your ask in relation to mental health counselling. We should always be aware of mental health. But a year into the COVID-19 pandemic, there's no better time than now. The Royal College of Psychiatrists has already warned of a tsunami of mental illness that will follow the pandemic. Your priority is entirely consistent with the public sector equality duty to eliminate discrimination on the grounds of disability and promote equality of opportunity. And this is exactly the sort of prevention, early intervention and addressing of the underlying causes that we need. It's always better if issues can be dealt with at an early stage so they don't escalate when they then become far more complex and expensive to resolve. Underlying mental health issues can contribute to school exclusions, which can in turn expose vulnerable children to becoming victims of crime and criminal exploitation. Mental ill health can be an underlying cause of antisocial behaviour and criminal behaviour. In turn, it can result in families being evicted from their homes. In turn, it's been estimated that up to 40% of police time can be spent dealing with mental health issues of one description or another. So addressing mental ill health at an early stage will cut crime, reduce victims of crime and criminal exploitation, reduce the impact on policing and our criminal justice system and our public services, save taxpayers' money, and help to ensure that young people remain in education and have access to the mental health care they need, when they need it, and where they need it. And that in turn will give them the best opportunity to fulfill their individual potential and make a positive contribution to society. And that is to the benefit of all of us. And finally, in relation to your last 2 asks, the answer is simple: yes and yes.